Good evening, ladies and gents. We are at the Greenwich Old Maritime College, or whatever it's called. And this pub over here is the Trafalgar. I just took a really decent picture of a bronze statue of Lord Nelson there, so that's pretty good. And a picture of the pub I'll be doing in a sec. It's full of people actually, so what I'll do is I'll get a copyright free one off of the internet. I don't like photographing people. I'll give you a little show of the pub, see if there's not too many people looking this way or whatnot. And that's the Trafalgar, which is a very old pub. Very nice pub. Trees in the way, unfortunately. That's that. Anyway, that's that, so no need to take pictures now. You had a look at that. I took a picture of the side of it anyway. And you see the front bit, it's pointing you down a minute because there's some kids around. Yeah, you get some pretty decent views from here. It's over the O2 Arena, Canary Wharf. This place, the architecture on this is stunning. It really is gorgeous. If you like that kind of thing. Doric columns or something like that, I think they're called. I had some posh geezer up by the British Museum once saying about those, and these look the same. And that over there is where we came from, Greenwich Tunnel. We should be having a little try at something with that. Watch this space, but I can't promise anything. So it is as it is. Shall have a look in here. Not going inside any of the buildings or anything here today. And quite a bit of walking around. It's mainly taking in architecture and things of this place because it is pretty amazing. So I've been told. This is my first proper visit to Old Greenwich Naval College, I think that's what it's called. We're in one of the great courtyards now. Walk around. No smoking in the courtyard. Okay. I'm in a civilised mood today, so we will obey. Very symmetrical, as I said about the Georgians, they liked symmetry. The Heritage Gallery. We'll have a look at that on the way through in a minute. It's an old... I don't think this is going to work, but it's an old water pump. And that's doesn't work, but that's how you would have pumped the water up. And there you can still see the mechanism for it though, look. And there, into that. Buckets. Don't forget, most of the buildings when this place was built, which was a lot of it, was the reign of King Charles was responsible for this one, Charles II. Yeah, anyway, as I was saying, yeah, a lot of that when this was built, you didn't have indoor running water as such. London's water sources were obviously strategic points, but unfortunately they spread disease. University of Greenwich. I'll have a walk through here. How much that hurt. Stairs to upper floors, well that's all closed off, but the main thing is this great big courtyard and all the architecture and stuff, and there is some filming going on as well, so which we'll see a little bit of. And there's the filming. I can hear a clarinet. Let's go and investigate. And that's where we've just come from. I would have got on well with the Georgians, everything's symmetrical. All the Georgian architects must have had OCD. But yeah, there's filming going on over there, film crew. This is most likely going to be King Charles II. Hic amis dissipata aquae princeps imperium pelagi. Okay. Yeah, it's got the Queen's house there, and up here, I'll show you. Get a bit close. I'll point you down. Shall we investigate where this music comes from? Get set higher, the lorry. Another pan round. Lovely place, quite easy to get to from Poplar. D7 bus, walk through the tunnel and off you go. These are my favourite bits. Excellent. Been able to get here now without the lorries in front of them, so they'll make decent screenshots. Oh, let's get out of the way. There's a horseless coach coming along. That's what Victorian people called cars. Horseless carriage. Oh, how charming. England took great pride in its navy, and still does, but particularly back in these days. They wanted a place, a naval college and a retirement home, like what the Chelsea pensioners have, and this was the result. And here, my dears, is we're looking at the Queen's house in front of us. Greenwich Park we're looking at there, and I'll get a bit closer to it. Oh dear, quite out of breath. That's because I'm fat and unfit, as that nun bird would say. There's quite a lot of people pottering around, but there's so much of this, it's massive. Oh, switch arms over, I'll make. I'll take you through this one because this one isn't too crowded, and we'll have a look at some of the architecture. Hope you're all enjoying this. I do try to give a variety of locations if I can. This one's a pretty big part of London's history as well, so it was odds on that I was going to have to do it sooner or later. Oh, I say, that's very impressive. It's full of gnats, which isn't impressive, but oh, mosquitoes everywhere, or gnats as we call them. And they go for me. Another courtyard. The sun. How charming. Yeah, you can get out at the end there, that will suit me perfectly. We'll try to keep this video under the 30 minutes if I can. Underground structures. There's a hint. They are probably basements or cellar, whatever you wish to call it. Pretty easy going at places like this nowadays, but not so many years ago. If you were standing on the grass, someone would come out and have a right go at you. But things have eased up a bit, thank goodness. Right. It goes on that way. All the way down that way. Oh, I like that. That'll make a nice screenshot. Wish I could get that program that removes people from pictures. I'll have to get that, download it. You got the same thing repeated exactly on this side, so one thing you are promised with the Georgians is complete symmetry. And the late Stuart period, pardon me, Queen's House und we'll walk on the grass, which I don't normally do, but over here is the Greenwich Observatory, the Royal Observatory, and years ago the ships in the Thames, see that ball there, that goes up and down, and at a certain time of the day, I think it's 12 o'clock, it drops back down, and all the ship's captains and that would watch that and set the ship's watches and clocks or whatever they were by that. That's a little piece of history that I know without having to research it. Yeah, and it does still go up and down, so as far as I know. But this place, the observatory's got a museum and everything, and Greenwich Park, which lies over there, will be for another day, for more explorations. So yeah, it's been quite interesting today. And the show ain't over yet, hopefully. You get some pretty decent views from along the Thames and that as well. So. Our Georgian forebears would like that. I'm right in the middle, it's just completely symmetrical. Yep, I would have done alright in Georgian times, I think. Anything that's out of line or out of proportion. So I've probably got OCD as well, I should imagine. Sorry about the wind, guys and girls. And that courtyard there looks pretty. No, it's different, but obviously I can't film too much because it's full of people there, and people are praying inside that, some ladies. So yeah, I won't film that bit. I wonder if there was damage done or something, because it's quite unusual for that era to have one bit made from brick and the other bit made from the sandstone or Portland stone, whatever it's made from. But yeah, these are my favourite bits. I like these. That should be interesting to get inside them. Them and have a look around. Sorry about that, guys and girls. Something happened with the phone and it stopped filming. I think it's where I just clicked on the quick camera thing rather than opening the phone up. So it's another lesson learned. Don't think I filled the phone memory up because it's got a very, very big memory capacity on it, this phone. Hence why I bought it. I'll have a walk maybe through this way. See? I'll have to go. Oh no, that wasn't much that way for me. Let's get across the road for the cyclists. Filming crew again. Wonder what they're filming. That's interesting, isn't it? As Sister Wendy would say. I'm pretty sure it's Sister Wendy, that woman's name, but we'll call her Sister Wendy for the sake of it. Oh, I wouldn't mind getting up there, look. And having a look. You get into some pretty deep trouble, I think, with a place like this. I'm a little daring, but not that daring. I used to be. I can't run fast anymore, so yeah, it is out of proportion. Look, this side's got gates on it, and this here side hasn't. Here we are. Principis Georgio, Prince George, Prince George II, or King George II. The whole thing is in Latin. Oh dear, I'll read this out, not the Latin bit, the date. It's Anno Domini MDCCXXXV, and then I can go on Google later on and check when it was made. Hicrius Senecta, his modus, Lasso Morris, et verum miliquite. Okay. I haven't got a clue what that means. It makes you wonder in those days, with these big fancy places and the statues, were they made so common people couldn't read them? Although most common people couldn't read even English, a lot of them anyway, so oh well. I've got a thinking mind, I'm afraid, so I overthink things a little bit. Millennium Dome, or the O2 Arena as it's called. I always call it the Millennium Dome, but it's not called that anymore, is it? What's this? Birthplace of King Henry VIII in 1491 and his daughters Queen Mary in 1516 and Queen Elizabeth in 1533. Oh, this is interesting. On this site stood the Tudor Royal Palace of Greenwich, built by King Henry VII. I'll get that because that can feature in another video. Get Rob to do that screen recorder thing, whatever it is he does. It's like working for them. I'll tell you something, I'm not a violent man, but if someone spoke to me like that, they'd get chinned. And I really ain't like an aggy violent person, but there are ways that you should and shouldn't speak to people, and there are boundaries, you know. Right. Pretty impressive. Greenwich Royal Naval College. It's in the what was the birthplace of Bloody Mary, Queen Mary, and Queen Elizabeth I. There will be images on the internet of that, so it's It's all stuff for another day. Oh, it's nice and cool along here. Oh, you can see the cable cars, look, that go from Royal Victoria Docks over to Greenwich Peninsula. Look, here's Greenwich Peninsula here, where the O2 Arena is. Right. There's a bit more of the building here, around this way. Oh, let's have a look at this. This is what I saw on the way around. Don't know what it is, but I should like to find out. Oh, you can hear the music better in here. I'll shut up now. They're bells. Music lessons it is, because you can hear it in different classrooms, different pianos, and different. Welcome to Trinity Laban. Trinity Laban Conservatoire, Music and Dance. Oh yeah. Violins up this end. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's just a complete cacophony of music. They obviously can't hear each other. There's another water pump there. It's not going to work, but there we are. Yeah, they would have just pumped up and down and dumped out your water into buckets ready for whatever you wanted it for. Keeps coming up with maximum recording length reached. I don't know what's wrong with that. We'll see. It's the painted hall there, which is obviously closed now. Yeah. Poor Robbie's going to have to do a bit of merging today. I don't know why this keeps doing it. Every about for 15 minutes or so it keeps coming up. Maximum recording length reached. And I've restarted my phone and stuff. I'll ask Robbie now. So I can hear things like that and whatnot. Women ain't too bad, like, but the blokes is a bit. Yeah, they're bells. Cannon. Harmonic cannon. Okay. Very interesting, but not stupid. Right, ladies and gentlemen. And we're back at where we were now, so that ends the tour. Another view back down the river. Can't show you too much along here because it's very busy and there's a lot of kids about, so as you know I don't like filming people without their concentration too much. Give you a quick sweep around. That's a saxophone by the sounds of it, or a trumpet of some description. George III, this bit. Anyways, I shall have to end you at that, I'm afraid, because there's so many people over behind me and it's loads of kids. So anyway, there we are everyone. Hope you all found this interesting. If you did, please give it a like and a share.